Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something really important for any child sponsorship organization. How do you take that first generous gift and turn it into a real, lasting partnership? We're going to break down the whole journey from that initial donation to creating a truly committed, lifelong supporter. Let's dive in.
So, why is this so critical? Well, the numbers really tell the story. Passionate advocates, the people who are truly all in on your mission, they contribute on average twice as much as one-time donors. That is a huge difference. And it just goes to show you how valuable it is to really invest in those donor relationships.
All right, so here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to start with why lasting support is so valuable. Then we'll map out the 4 stages of giving. After that, we'll get into what really motivates a donor, look at some tools for building deeper connections, and finally, wrap up with how to measure what actually matters.
First step, the value of lasting support. And look, the goal here is about so much more than just raising money. It's really about shifting from simple transactions to building genuine partnerships that can create sustainable, long-term change in a child's life.
Okay, so if the goal is partnership, how do we actually get there? Well, that brings us right to our next section, the 4 stages of giving. Think of this as a roadmap for the entire donor journey.
So, what exactly is the donor journey? You can think of it as the path a supporter takes, starting from that very first moment they become curious, all the way to becoming a passionate advocate. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like building any relationship. It takes time, it takes trust, and it takes real understanding.
And this journey really unfolds in 4 key stages. It all starts with acquisition. That's the first gift, the hello. Then comes engagement, where you start to get to know each other and they form an emotional connection. From there, you move into retention, where they feel valued, they see their impact, and they decide to stick around. And finally, you have the upgrade stage, where all that trust inspires them to deepen their commitment. And this quote from Jeff Nickel really gets to the heart of it all. He says, we have to continuously let them know how their gifts make the recipients feel. This is so important. Throughout the entire journey, it's not just about the numbers. It's about connecting your donors to the emotional impact of what they're doing. But to communicate that feeling in a way that really lands, you first have to understand what motivates a donor to give in the first place. You have to get to the why behind it all. So what are those deep-seated motivators? Well, for a lot of people, it's that incredible personal connection they feel with a specific child through letters and photos. For others, it's driven by their faith or a powerful desire to break cycles of poverty. Some people give because they've known hardship themselves, while others are thinking about the legacy they want to leave behind. Knowing this stuff is absolutely key. And you can put that understanding to work with a simple segmentation strategy like this. Your new donors? They need reassurance. They need to see their impact. So you send them frequent updates. Your established donors who've been with you for a year or two, they're often looking for deeper involvement, so that's the perfect time to invite them to help with special projects. And your long-term loyal supporters, they often value recognition and legacy, which makes them the perfect people to talk to about upgrade opportunities. Okay, so we know the journey and we know the motivations. Now let's get practical and look at the actual tools you can use for building a deeper connection and guiding donors along this path. Technology is a total game changer here. Seriously. Modern donor management platforms let you move way beyond guesswork. They help you track interactions, measure who's engaged, and spot trends, which lets you turn all that data into a real personalized strategy that you can scale. But tech is only half the battle, right? It has to be paired with a genuine personal touch. That means writing messages that actually reference a donor's history with you, using a mix of channels like email and maybe even a phone call, and most importantly, sharing those powerful personal stories that show the real transformation their support is creating. Recognition is another fantastic tool, but let's weigh the options. A personalized thank you note? It builds amazing loyalty because it feels so genuine, but it can be time-consuming. Exclusive events create a real VIP experience, but they do require more resources. And tiered giving programs, they give donors a super clear path to upgrading, but you've got to be really thoughtful about designing the benefits. And speaking of clear paths, get this. Monthly giving programs can boost donor retention by up to 90% compared to just one-time gifts. And it makes sense, right? It creates a consistent, manageable habit of giving that just builds momentum and deepens that commitment over time. This leads us right into our final section, measuring what matters. Because you can't improve what you don't measure. This is all about tracking your success so you can constantly tweak and strengthen your strategy.
So what should you really be looking at? These are the big ones. Your donor retention rate tells you if you're keeping people engaged. Average gift size and upgrade conversion rate show you if you're growing financially. Donor lifetime value gives you that crucial long-term perspective. And of course, your communication engagement rates tells you if your messages are even hitting the mark.
And please, do not underestimate the simple power of saying thanks. A lack of acknowledgement is the second biggest reason donors decide to walk away. A heartfelt thank you and consistent updates showing them their impact can really make all the difference in the world.
And that brings us to this critical point. Your best prospect for a future gift is the person who just gave. As Jeff Nichols says, they've already shown you they believe in your mission. Your job is to keep that good feeling going by showing them the incredible difference they're making. Retention is truly the foundation for everything else. And at the end of the day, this is what it's all about. Real, tangible, life-changing impact. An individual contribution, say $40 a month, provides essentials like food and education for one child. Now, when you scale that up, you can see the collective power. In 2022 alone, just one organization, Plan International, had over 1.2 million children sponsored worldwide. That is the incredible power of turning individual gifts into a global movement.
So, we'll end with this question for you to think about. Now that you have these stages, these motivations, and these tools, how will you go out and transform your donor relationships from simple transactions into powerful, lasting partnerships for change?